Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're decoding a really powerful framework for success. Think of it as an operating system for your company's entire innovation pipeline.
So let's start with a problem that probably feels a little familiar. You've got these brilliant ideas, right? Fantastic people on your team, but somehow those great ideas get stuck. Projects just stall out, they burn through a ton of cash, and the whole innovation effort feels more like random chaos than an actual strategy.
You know, it's basically innovation's blue screen of death. The hardware, your team, their ideas, it's all perfectly good, but the whole system crashes because there's no stable, underlying structure to handle all the uncertainty and risk that just comes with the territory of creating something new.
But what if you could just install a proven operating system to run all of those innovation efforts smoothly? Well, that is exactly what ISO 56002 is all about. It's not some rigid one-size-fits-all program. It's a guidance standard for building a reliable innovation management system from the ground up.
Okay, let's get into it. Here's our game plan. First, we're going to diagnose that crash. Then, we'll install our new OS, take a look at its core components, run our very first app, and finally see what kind of performance boost we get from this big system upgrade.
All right, first up, let's take a closer look at the problem this whole system is designed to solve in the first place. Why exactly do so many unstructured innovation efforts just fail?
You know, the crucial point is actually right here in the standard itself. Innovation just isn't a neat straight line like manufacturing. It's all about exploration, it's about experimentation, and it's absolutely about dealing with a massive amount of uncertainty. Any system that punishes failure instead of learning from it is just destined to crash. This standard gets that. It recognizes that those discontinued projects aren't just waste, they're data. They're incredible sources of learning.
So, how do we bring some order to all this creative chaos without, crushing the creativity itself? Well, we install a framework. And this is the key metaphor to really get your head around. ISO 56002 is like a universal OS. It doesn't tell you which innovation apps to run, whether you're developing a new product, a service, or a whole new business model. Instead, it provides the common language, the stable platform, and the core processes to make sure that whatever apps you decide to run, they don't crash the whole system.
Okay, so let's pop the hood. What's the core architecture that actually makes this operating system work?
At its heart, the standard is built around one really elegant, logical loop. The entire system runs on this continuous improvement engine called the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle, or PDCA for short. And this cycle is the engine in action. It transforms innovation from just a series of one-off bets into a disciplined, repeatable process. You plan your goals, you do the work, you check your results against those goals, and then you act on what you've learned to constantly improve. It's a powerful feedback loop that just builds momentum over time.
Now, a really critical function of this OS is that it lets two very different but equally vital mindsets live together in harmony. On one hand, you have your operations-oriented mindset, all about efficiency and predictability. On the other, you have the creative-oriented mindset, which is all about exploration and learning. A good innovation system doesn't force one to act like the other. It creates a space where both can absolutely thrive.
Okay, our OS is installed and stable. Now it's time to run its most important app, the innovation process itself. Let's see how it takes that little spark of an idea and turns it into real-world value.
So this is the core process, a structured path from insight all the way to impact. It all starts with identifying real needs, not just brainstorming in a vacuum. From there, you create potential solutions. Now, the most critical step is next. You validate. Before you build anything expensive, you test, you experiment, you reduce that uncertainty. And only after a concept is proven do you develop and deploy it. This simple structure prevents those really costly failures late in the game.
So what's the ultimate payoff here? After you go through all the effort of installing this new operating system for innovation, what's the kind of performance boost you can actually expect to see?
The performance boost is, it's comprehensive. It's not just about improving the bottom line through growth and cutting waste. A managed system gives you the confidence to handle uncertainty. It empowers your teams, and ultimately, it makes your entire organization more resilient and way more attractive to partners and investors. This isn't just about having more ideas. It's about building a fundamentally more robust organization. Underpinning this entire system are 8 core principles. You can think of them as the philosophical pillars of the OS. They guide everything from how leaders should behave to how you manage uncertainty. They're what ensures your innovation efforts aren't just random, but are strategic and laser-focused on creating real value.
So look, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. ISO 56002 is not a rigid checklist. It is an adaptable framework. It gives you the architecture for your innovation OS, and then you tailor it to your organization's unique culture and goals. The whole point isn't to follow rules, it's to build an innovation capability that truly lasts.
It's a system designed for sustained, long-term success, not just one-off wins. And that really leaves us with one final question for you to consider.